All right, as Mitt Romney officially declares his candidacy in New Hampshire today, the polls have him at or near the top of the race, fragilely so. The latest New Hampshire state poll has him with a solid lead of over 20 points there, but there are still plenty of undecided voters. Nationally, Romney is just a point behind in one poll, Rudy Giuliani, but Giuliani hasn't declared anything yet, although he is popping up in New Hampshire today as well.
Well, Kevin Madden was Mitt Romney's campaign manager in 2008, and he joins us now. So
campaign manager, someone's going to be mad.
We promoted you. No. Spokesperson.
Oh, shoot, I just knew you were really important. Okay, so
it just felt like I was the campaign
whatever,
manager.
You were there, and so you're the perfect person to answer this question.
Right.
What is Romney doing now better that he didn't do well then? I mean, how is he going to win it this time around when voters have seen him?
Yeah, well, I think two things. I think, first of all, in 2008, we were really we were under pressure because we were when you're at 2%, you have to sort of rip a headline and get noticed, rip a headline and get noticed. And one of the problems was that when we were ripping all those headlines, we had hundreds of headlines, and it really didn't add up to one big message to the American people about why Mitt Romney should be president. I think that's very different now because he's very focused acutely on the economy, which is really the issue that's in his wheelhouse, and it's the issue that most Americans, that many Americans care about right now. It's driving the economic anxiety of the electorate. The second thing I would say, too, is that we were very focused on positioning ourselves against each candidate. We were trying to go against John McCain because he had 100% name ID and was known as the president of New Hampshire. Rudy Giuliani was leading in the national polls. Now, Governor Romney is very focused on his message and how he can connect with that message with the
Kevin, let's
public.
flash back 4 years ago. I want to play a couple of clips from his announcement speech then versus what I think we're going to hear in a few hours.
I believe that the family is the foundation of America and that it needs to be protected and strengthened. I believe in the sanctity of human life. How is the American family made stronger? With marriage before children, with a mother and a father in the life of every child.
That was very much a values message that you guys were trying to strike. It was the social conservative Mitt Romney. And look, this is his challenge, is it not? I'm sure you've heard it from plenty of friends, advisors, enemies, whatever you want to call them, who sit there and say, there's the liberal Republican from 1994, there's the pragmatist from 2002 that became governor of Massachusetts, the social conservative from 2007 that we just heard, and today, the former businessman. Here's an excerpt. Government under President Obama has grown to consume almost 40% of our economy. We're only inches away from ceasing to be a free market economy. Among the excerpts that have been released, what he's going to say. That's a challenge.
Yeah, it is. And I think that goes back again to what I was saying earlier. Is like in that speech, which feels like yesterday now watching it still, in that speech, that was an introduction. And when you have an introduction to many voters where you're a new candidate to many voters, you have to run the whole entire gamut of issues, everything from social issues to national security issues to economic issues. And I think what happened was that many of the other campaigns believed that the soft underbelly of the Romney campaign with them was to go after him on social issues and start to exploit us. And I think as a campaign, we had to respond. So we spent an inordinate amount of the time talking about social issues during that campaign when we should have been, again, focused on his strength, which is the economy. What's very different that you're going to see today is that he's going to talk about not only his experience on the economy and job creation and budgets and deficits, but he is going to talk about what his vision for the future is on those big issues, because that's essentially what the American people want to hear. They want to hear a candidate stand up there and say, candidate A, B, C, D, how are you going to put America back to work?
But how do you counteract that kind of je ne sais quoi of any Romney candidacy, which is a lot of voters just feel like there's something about him that doesn't seem authentic or real. He's a little bit too perfect. The hair is never out of place. I shouldn't say this to you, Kevin, because I know you suffer from the same affliction.
Yeah, you're saying that like it's a bad thing.
Yeah. But I mean, how does he address this?
Yeah, I think the connection part was, again, a problem because we had so many issues that we were trying to talk to the American public. And look, talking to voters is like courting. When you're focused on so many different things, you really don't get to learn a lot about one person. I think on this particular issue, the governor's challenge, and what I think he's very focused on, is how does he connect his experience and his economic argument to the American public's anxiety about that issue right now. Like, that's where he's going to be able to connect, because they're as focused on the economy as he is. That's an issue where they have a shared interest.
Kevin Madden, former spokesperson.
Thank you very much.
And also still an advisor to the Romney effort going into 2012. Thanks for
great to be with you.
Excellent hair. All right, Kevin. Thank you.